but for you, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know for sure. I don't know. I'm not sure.
And we didn't get rid of yes. I thought they were going to get rid of this table.
So, oh, we should. Can we move it? You're moving it. You're moving it. But I'm wondering if we should put 3 feet down, or does it matter? Like, should I? You know what I mean? Like, do it. Put something on the table just to protect it, or you have that tray. The tray should be enough, right? We'll move it. Why don't we? I just said. Where your music stand was. Just watch it. I'm gonna put where that second music was for the time. Just so you need it when I can do it, and then we'll move it out of the way. This thing. Just put the table there so if you do have the left. Yeah. No, just move it back to where it is currently and put this thing there.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, just like otherwise you're not gonna be able to sing and do and right?
See, there's no holder for the
There's no which.
there's no holder for the candle. I'll just hold it. It usually has one though.
When they do the up here, what happens?
no, you still got 11 minutes.
Is it right? Because if you let it now, you gotta do it now.
Yes. Well, no, I can wait. As long as it's a big watch.
Right?
Oh, I mean, that's the watch is
I
fast.
could be wrong.
I mean, this watch is actually slow. Fast, actually.
Let's wait 2 minutes.
Okay.
I think that's fast.
Okay.
Can I see your introductions and so on?
Well,
Yeah. I'll just see what I'm going to do.
first before these two, and we stop and talk.
Oh, right. Oh, you're right. Okay, so you're right. Do this. I say something. That's the name of this. That's the name of this. I'll say something. Right? You're right. I think we can start now. Yeah, let's begin. All right, let's begin.
Shavua Tov, everyone. Welcome to those here in the Henderly's Chapel. Welcome to those joining us online. I'm Cantor Sidney. Accompanying with me is my friend and colleague Asher Farber. We are celebrating the incoming month of Adar, which will be happening on Tuesday and Wednesday. But first, we're going to begin with Havdalah as we say goodbye to Shabbat. Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagefen borei peri hagefen Nay nay na 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 nay 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 na 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 nay 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 na 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 nay 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 na 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 nay 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 na 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 nay nay Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei v'samim borei minei v'samim Lay lay la 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 lay lay la lay la 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 lay 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 la 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 lay 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 la 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 lay lay la 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 lay 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 la 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 lay lay la la lay 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 la 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 lay Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei meorei ha'esh borei meorei ha'esh lay lay la 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 lay lay Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol ben or lechoshech ben Yisrael amim ben yom hashvi'i לששת ימי המעשה ברוך אתה אדוני המבדיל בין קודש לחול לי לי לה 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 The greater the sizzle, the greater the muzzle, if it goes out. There you go.
Pretty good month. There we go. There we go.
Shavua tov, 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 Agitavach, 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 Eliyahu Hanavi, Eliyahu Hatishbi, Eliyahu, Eliyahu, Eliyahu Hagiladi, Bimera ve'yameinu, Shavua Tov. Thanks again for joining us. And you'll notice that we're dressed in the spirit of the upcoming month.
This is how I dress like this all the time.
Yeah, right, it's true. So we are going to open up with a medley of songs based on Megillat Esther, chapter 8, verses 15 to 16, describing how Mordechai went out from the presence of the king in royal apparel with a crown of gold, and the city of Shushan rejoiced and was glad. And that last phrase, LaYehudim hayta ora v'simcha v'sason v'ikar, the Jews had light and gladness and joy and honor, the text that we just sang in Havdalah, which we sing every Saturday night. So we're going to present the first three songs based on that, as I said, verses 15 and 16 in Esther chapter 8. The first song is V'ha'ir Shushan from an unknown composer. And the second one, Sason Vikar, is one by one of Israel's most famous composers, arrangers, and conductors, Nurit Hirsch. You'll know her most famously for her song Oseh Shalom. Oseh Shalom bimromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. She wrote that as well as B'Shana Haba'ah. Otire kama tov yehiyeh b'shana haba'ah. So that second song, Sason Vikar, is by her. And the third one, LaYehudim, is a folk tune. So for those, just before we start, just a reminder for those who are watching online, you can download, there's a link to download the lyrics that have all the lyrics that we're going to be singing tonight. For those in the room, in the chapel, we've distributed some to people, but if people who walked in a little bit later, there are some copies at the back. So feel free to take one. So follow along with us as we'll begin V'ha'ir Shushan. V'ha'ir Shushan, V'ha'ir Shushan, Zahala v'samecha. V'ha'ir Shushan, V'ha'ir Shushan, Zahala v'samecha. LaYehudim hayta ora v'simcha, ora v'simcha, v'sason v'ikar, v'sason, v'sason, v'sason v'ikar, v'sason, v'sason, v'sason v'ikar. V'ha'ir Shushan, V'ha'ir Shushan, Zahala v'samecha. V'ha'ir Shushan, V'ha'ir Shushan, Zahala v'samecha. LaYehudim hayta ora v'simcha, ora v'simcha, v'sason v'ikar, v'sason, v'sason, v'sason v'ikar, v'sason, v'sason, v'sason v'ikar. Mordechai yatsa milifnei hamelech bilvush malchut va'ateret zahav. Mordechai yatsa milifnei hamelech v'ha'ir Shushan zahala v'samecha. LaYehudim hayta ora v'simcha, ora v'simcha, v'sason v'ikar. 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 ליהודים הייתה אורה ושמחה וששון ויקר. 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 Continuing the theme of Simcha, the next song is the famous text from the Talmud, Misha Nichnas Adar Marbin B'Simcha. When the month of Adar arrives, we increase our joy. Please join with us. נכנס אדר. נכנס אדר. מי שנכנס אדר מבין בשמחה. 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 Woo! Okay. Just in case you're not joyful enough yet, we're going to continue our theme of simcha, of joy. We're going to present two versions of Ivdu et Hashem, which is another form of joy. We have, joy from happy occasions like weddings, b'nai mitzvah, but you also get the joy of serving Hashem, of prayer. So we present two melodies. The first is a Hasidic melody, And the second one is a folk tune, which the last part is attributed to Rabbi Moshe Shur, who for the past 35 years has been the director of the Queens College Hillel at the University of New York, and is also professor of history there. And he's well known for being active in the civil rights movement, meeting significant civil rights leaders like Dr. Martin Luther King. So we're going to present these two melodies. Here we are, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, from Psalm 100, verse 2. Serve the Lord with joy, come before him with singing. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, bo lefanav birnana, bo lefanav birnana, bo lefanav birnana, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, bo lefanav birnana, bo lefanav birnana, bo lefanav birnana. Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, lefanav birnana. Na 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 Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, lefanav birnana. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, lefanav birnana. Let's go. Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, Ivdu et Hashem b'simcha, bo lefanav birnana, lefanav birnana. Woohoo! Okay. Our next selection that we're going to sing for you is a Shabbat Zemer, Menucha v'Simcha, which the text first appeared in 1545. The initial letters of the first three stanzas are an acrostic of the name Moshe, presumably the composer. We'll have later on the theme of Moshe, and I thought would add this one as well. The rest and joy of the title refer to the Shabbat observances themselves, and the power of these simple and enjoyable rituals will be enough to bring Mashiach. Now, the source for this melody, you may not know the melody well enough, but it's from a 1912 a music book in 1912 from St. Petersburg, Russia. It was produced by the Society of Jewish Music. It was a society of ethnomusicologists who combed the Pale of Settlement, documenting melodies. They interviewed many informants and collected different melodies, different folk tunes. So probably this one that we're going to be doing for Menucha v'Simcha is based on a folk tune. When we sing it, see if you notice anything familiar in the the melody. Menucha v'simcha or laYehudim Yom Shabbaton Yom Machmadim Shomra v'zochra Eima meidim Ki l'shisha kol beruim v'omdim Shemei shamayim eretz v'yamim kol tzevam marom gvohim v'ramim Tarin be'adam be'yachayad re'emim ki be'yashem Tarin be'adam be'yachayad re'emim ki be'yashem zur olamim. Did anybody notice anything?
That's right. That's right.
Yes, for those who may not be hearing online, right, Chava Nerisha Rosh Hashash, or of course Chag Purim. Actually, the first 16 bars, or the first 16 measures, are very similar. And the book where I got this from, the author made a note, noting that it's very similar to Chag Purim. Is it coincidental? Is it on purpose? We don't really know, but we thought we would, since it does have that Chag Purim motif in it, we would include it for the month of Adar. And of course, if you find yourself leading Shabbat Zemer, or if you find yourself at Sudah Shishit on a Shabbat afternoon, for example, or even on Shabbat during the day, during the month of Adar, feel free to use this melody. So join with us. At least the first half. The verses are a little easier because you've got the Chag Purim motif. The chorus is a little bit harder, but I think the first a couple of times you hear it, you'll be able to pick it up. So here we go.
Start from Menucha v'simcha.
Sure. Yeah. Start from Menucha v'simcha so people can join in. Menucha v'simcha or laYehudim Yom Shabbaton Yom Machmadim Shomra v'zochra v'eima meidim Ki l'shisha kol beruim v'omdim Shemei shamayim eretz v'yamim kol tzevam marom gvohim v'ramim Tarin be'adam b'chayad re'emim Ki be'yashem Tarin be'adam b'chayad re'emim Ki be'yashem zur olamim O asher diber le'am segulato Shamo lekadesho mibo ve'atzeito Shabbat kodesh yom chemdato Kivo Shabbat el mikol melachto Shemei shamayim eretz v'yamim kol tzevam marom gvohim v'ramim Tarin be'adam b'chayat re'emim Ki be'yashem Tarin be'adam b'chayat re'emim Ki be'yashem zur olamim Shemei shamayim eretz v'yamim kol tzevam marom gvohim v'ramim Tarin be'adam b'chayat re'emim Ki be'yashem Tarin be'adam b'chayat re'emim Ki be'yashem zur olamim. Our next piece will be Lechune Ranana, based on Psalm 95, verses 1 to 2, the opening psalm of Kabbalat Shabbat. Here is a Hasidic melody. L'Hashem, Naria, Naria, Letzo Yishenu Lecho, Neranena, L'Hashem, Naria, Naria, Letzo Yishenu, Nekad Mafanav, Nekad Mafanav, Nekad Mafanav, Betoda, Nekad Mafanav, Nekad Mafanav, Nekad Mafanav, Betoda, na 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 on Song 8, the Song of the Purim Spieler, Judith Kaplan, Judith Eisenstadt, a musicologist, composer, and theologian, and the first person to celebrate a bat mitzvah in America. She was also the oldest daughter of Rabbi Mordechai Kaplan, and she wrote a book of children's music, and she took the Hasidic melody that you just heard, and she applied it to a song of the Purim Spieler, to these lyrics she created for a children's Purim Spiel. So sing along with us. You actually have the text right there. Come and see our Purim Spiel, mighty wonders we'll reveal of Purim, of happy Purim day. Get your graggers ready now while the actors take a bow and put on their masks in colors bright and gay. See the Megillah slowly unwinding, and out comes Esther dancing with the king. Haman the villain and Mordecai the hero, each one has his turn to dance and sing. La 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 la, la 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 of Purim, of happy Purim day, of Purim, of happy Purim day. Join with us. We'll just do the nigun, just on 99999. Join with us for this third part. If you find yourself leading Kabbalat Shabbat, like I did actually last night, I actually introduced this melody in its services. So feel free, if you ever find yourself leading Kabbalat Shabbat, put this melody in, especially during the month of Adar. Talking about the month of Adar, we're going to switch now away from the Purim theme. We'll come back to that later on. We want to focus on music related to Moshe. The 7th of Adar is historically, traditionally, right, Moshe Rabbeinu's, it's actually the Moshe Rabbeinu's Yurtzeit and also the day of his birth.
Which is the same day, by the way.
Yeah. Right, his Hebrew name is not mentioned in Parshat Tetzaveh, exactly, that's right. Okay, so yeah, the 7th of Adar is the birth and the Yurtzeit of Moses, and also on the 4th of Adar, Bet, is
Adar Bet, yeah, correct.
It actually was in Adar Bet, but the 4th of Adar is the Yurtzeit of Moshe Feig, Zichrono Livracha, and Mizmor Monthly is being sponsored this evening by Chaim and Reina Feig in memory of Chaim's father, Moshe Feig, Zichrono Livracha, and I'd like to invite Asher to speak a few more words about that regard.
So actually, I mean, it's coincidence or not coincidence, he just mentioned the sponsor is actually my family. So Moshe is my great uncle, who's Moshe Feig. My mother's maiden name is Feig. so we were in thinking about Mizmor Monthly, and also we were thinking about music for Moshe, like the name Moshe. The next set of songs will either feature lyrics about Moshe, or be written by people named Moshe, or that's basically the idea. Right? And we'll tell you more about the songs when we get there, but you can start with that, yeah.
Okay, so the three songs we're going to sing. First one is Moshe Bateva, the words by Kaddish Yehuda Leib Silman, Hebrew writer and satirist, born near Vilna. He's contributed to the fields of popular ballads, poetry, satire, and humor, and also books for children. And the melody is a folk tune, talks about Moshe in the basket. Also, the second piece is Moshe Emet, a Hasidic melody, which is performed by many artists, such as Abraham Fried. And the third piece we're going to do.
Yeah, so just about Moshe Emet, you were about to say. So it's a klezmer tune that's very popular in the Hasidic world. It kind of fits really well with a very Yiddish pronunciation of, it's not Moshe Emet, it's Moshe Emes. So 100%. So feel free to pull out that if you wish. It's up to you. And then, the third one we were about to introduce was, so in thinking about my great uncle Moshe, who this is also a think of, he and my Zaidi used to listen to cassettes for hours about Chazanut, and one of their favorites was Moshe Oisher, and that's another Moshe, by coincidence. So, who here knows Moshe Oisher? If you don't, no pressure, but great. If you don't, you're missing out, you should listen. So it was just a natural choice that was probably would be something that he would have loved to hear anyways. And it happens to be written by someone named Moshe, so.
For sure, and it's just a little background about that music. What we're going to present is Amar Rabbi Elazar. The text is from Talmud Tractate Brachot 64a, and the music by Moshe Oisher, American cantor, recording artist, and film and Yiddish theater actor. During the 1940s and 50s, he was one of the top chazanim, and his recordings continue to be appreciated. He starred actually in 3 major Yiddish films, Der Wilner Stott, Chazan, An Overture to Glory, in which he played and sang the role of the legendary cantor known as the Wilner Balabasel, and also Dem Chazan's Zindel, the cantor's son, based loosely on Moshe Oisher's own life. And the third Yiddish movie he starred in was Yankel der Schmied, the singing blacksmith. But we're going to present Amar Rabbi Elazar as the third piece, one of his famous compositions that is performed in concerts all around the world. And actually, I'll be performing it with the Wizards of Ashkenaz, my 3 classmates, in a week's time in Florida. So it was a great practice for me. We'll start with Moshe Bateva, Moshe Emetz, and then Amar Rabbi Elazar. Hagalim Hashor Kovim, Moshe HaKatan Poshat, Lo Yidbach Haya Yichye, Yeled Zeh HaKat, Lo Yidbach Haya Yichye, Yeled Zeh HaKat. Moshe met v'torato emet. Moshe met v'torato emet. Moshe met v'torato emet. Moshe met v'torato emet. Moshe emet v'torato emet. Moshe emet v'torato emet. Moshe emet v'torato emet. Moshe emet v'torato emet.
Just 1 second. Please sing along. There's only 4 words. 3 words. Because emet is twice. Moshe emet v'torato emet, right?
Moshe emet v'torato emet. Or Moshe emes v'soy
And
soy
or
emes.
if you want bonus marks, Moshe emes v'toy rasoy emes.
Which I'll probably do for the second part. The last part.
So one more time. 1 or 2. Let's go for it. 1, 2.
Moshe emet v'torato emet. 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 Now we're going to do it in the Yiddish version. Here we go. Or Ashkenazi version. Moshe mes v'soy rasoy emet. 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 Moshe emes v'soy emes. Moshe emes v'soy emes. Moshe emes v'soy emes. Moshe emes v'soy emes.
Right. It has to be. So that song, I don't think I've ever heard actually performed slower than what we just did it now. I was like, it's always super fast. And it's like super exciting. Yeah. And on that note, we'll sing something else equally as fast.
And now, as Usher said, in memory of Moshe Feig, Moshe Raphael Ben Chaim Meir Vagolda Zichrono Livracha, we'll present also here Amar Rabbi Elazar by Moshe Oisher.
All right, here we go.
Chanina. Talmidei Chachamim, Marbim, 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 Shalom Ha'olam. Amar, 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 Rabbi Elazar, Amar, Rabbi Chanina. Marbim, Chachamim, Marbim, 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 Shalom Ha'olam. שנאמר בכל בנייך לימודי השם ורב שלום בנייך אל תקרא בנייך שלום רב לאוהבי תורתך ואין למו מכשול יהי שלום בחלק שלווה 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 בנותייך שלווה 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 בנותייך אמר 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 רבי אלעזר אמר רבי חנינה תלמידי חכמים מרבים 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 שלום בעולם למען החי ולעי אדברה שלום אדברה נה 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 שלום 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 Thank you very much. Chaim and Rain, I hope you enjoyed that. Thank you very much for, again, sponsoring this evening.
Never thought I would see the day where I would be doing Moishe Osher, not only with you, but in costume.
Right. Yeah.
One of a kind.
Yeah, Moshe Osher ever dressed up in costume. It's true. I don't know.
It's great.
So now we're going to continue on back to our Purim theme. Hop meine Hamantaschen, which is a Yiddish Purim song. Yente Devora, or originally known as Yachne Dvoshe in Yiddish. Yachne was a given name that fell out of fashion. It means the same as Yente, which was also a given name. Both are pejorative words that refer to a gossipy, meddling woman. Yachne Dvoshe, in this song, she prepares some Hamantaschen, but unfortunately it turns out that she's not such a great cook. So feel free to look at the lyrics, you'll understand why, and sing along.
It's pejorative, but it's like a schlemiel. Like she's like a, she's a real schlemiel. She keeps messing things up. You'll see. Okay.
Jachne Dvoshe fort in Stott, halt sich in ein Park. Darf auf Purim kaufen Mehl Hommentaschen backen. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Skate a Regen, skate a Schnee, skapet von die Dreche. Jach net wosche trockt schon Mehl in a Sack mit Leche.
Oy vey.
Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Eise. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Eise. Nicht kein Honig, nicht kein Mohn, unvergessen Haven. Jachne macht schon Hommentaschen, spackt sich schon in Euven. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Jachne trockt schon Schalach Mones zu der Mume Jente.
Even her aunt is a yente. That's what she's saying. Continue.
2, 3 schwarze Hommentaschen,
She birthed them.
halb reu, halb verbrennte. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Hopp meine Hommentaschen, hopp meine Weiße, hopp mit meine Hommentaschen, hopp passiert am Meise. Ah, hör jachne de Wosche. Now we're going to, switching from Yiddish to Ladino, here is a song, Koplas de Purim. Sephardic Jews tell the story of Purim in what is called koplas. Koplas are poems in Ladino composed from the late 17th century on, which deal largely with Jewish holidays and historical events. They were among the first to be of the genre to be written, and they are also the most numerous. Broadly speaking, the content can be divided into 3 types: abbreviated versions of the entire story of the book of Esther, descriptions of the Purim celebration, and burlesques about the bad guys in the book of Esther, especially Haman and his wife Zeresh. So the Koplas of Purim that we're going to perform now is from North Africa, namely Morocco and Tangier, and you have the Purim feast is described with the word alwinadas, which are baked delicacies, or more specifically chalva, which include little cakes of various shapes. Esta Noche de Purim celebrates the miracle of Purim.
Cantor Sydney, did you know I play guitar?
I did not know that.
I play guitar.
Oh. Wow, technology. Oh.
It's a guitar.
So I wanted to, before we start, I wanted to teach you the chorus. You have the chorus, the refrain, Viva tú y viva yo, y vivan todos los judíos. Long may you live, and long may I live, and long live all the Jews. And then it's Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Long live Queen Esther, who granted us so much pleasure. The rhythm, we'll just clap the rhythm. It's like the song, what is it called, like America from West Side Story?
Yeah.
Yeah. Da 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 da. So with the words, it's like Viva tú y viva yo, vivan todos los judíos, viva la reina Esther que tanto placer nos dio. It's a little bit fast. We'll do it a little slower. 1, 2. Viva tui, viva yo, vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tui, viva yo, vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. And the melody is like, viva tui, viva yo, vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo, vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Feel free to join us for the chorus for sure. We'll start with the chorus. Here it goes. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. The first verse. Esta noche de Purim no duermen los alhuinas, siendo alhuinadas para las desposadas. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Aman antes que muriera, llamó a su parentela, los puso a su cabecera un día antes de Purim. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Y tú, mi hijo, porata, vende tu ropa barata y no hables con quien tratas en el día de Purim. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Calla tú, seré la loca, que hablar a ti no te toca, que por Li hicieron la oca y la estrenaron en Purim. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. Viva tú y viva yo y vivan todos los judíos. Viva la reina Esther, que tanto placer nos dio. We'll end our program. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thanks again for joining us online. Thanks again to my colleague and friend Asher Farber for playing and joining me this evening. We will end our program with a medley of 4 popular Purim songs, 2 of which were written by Levin Kipnis, best known in Israel as a prolific writer of children's literature. He's more famous internationally as the author of many Israeli songs, particularly classic children's songs for Purim and Hanukkah, as well as Pesach and Shavuot. The Ani Purim is the first song we're going to present, written by Levin Kipnis, music by Nachum Nardi, a Ukraine-born Israeli composer. The second piece is Leitzan Katan Nechmad by Sarah Levi Tanai, an Israeli choreographer and songwriter of Yemenite background. La Kova Sheli, an unknown author, melody perhaps based on a German folk song. And finally, Chag Purim, as we heard earlier, the very popular Eastern European Ashkenazi melody that was put to Chag Purim. And also we saw many religious poems in Hebrew and Yiddish, featured in many publications in Jewish folk songs, as well as the Shabbat Zemer Menucha V'Simcha, which we heard earlier. So this is our medley, Ani Purim,
Just before we sing it, just two quick things.
For those who are in the room, we welcome you after for refreshments. Please join us afterwards. And then I also just want to bring to your attention and thank you for those who are joining us online. And this is the last Mizmor month this year that we're going to be doing Motzi Shabbat on Saturday. Next month, we're actually, just because Shabbat starts and ends early, after daylight savings, we're going to be moving the day to Friday. We're going to be doing it before Kabbalat Shabbat in the hopes that people can join us and then whatever you'd like. But in the hopes that people can join as they wish and then can stick around either in person or online for Kabbalat Shabbat.
That'll be on March 24th.
March 24th. I think right now it says advertise 5:30. We may make it earlier. We'll keep you posted. It may be fun. We may start singing earlier, but Kabbalat Shabbat's at 6.
Yes, come and join us for the concert before, and we'll continue with the Shabbat service as well, musical Kabbalat Shabbat service.
All right. Let's
Here we go.
Yeah.
Ani Purim. Sing along. You all know these songs? Ani Purim, Sameach Umbadeach, Halo rak pa'am bashana avo lehitareyach, la lai lai la la lai, la lai lai la la lai lai, la lai lai la la lai, la lai lai lai. Rabbi Purim, emor nali madua lo yachul Purim, pa'amayim bashavua, la lai lai la la lai, la lai 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 lai, la lai lai la la lai, la lai lai lai. Hey dad Purim, akutov silpayim, o mi yitenu vapurim, lechodesh lechodshayim. La lai lai la la lai, la lai lai la lai, la lai lai la la lai, la lai lai lai. ליצן קטן נחמד, רוקד עם כל אחד, ליצן קטן שלי, אולי תרקוד איתי, אולי תרקוד איתי, אולי תרקוד איתי. ליצן קטן נחמד, רוקד עם כל אחד, ליצן קטן שלי, אולי תרקוד איתי, אולי תרקוד איתי, אולי תרקוד איתי.
This one's more, we need to explain what we're doing.
Right, the first time we're going to sing La Kova Shali as written, as it is, with all the words, and then we're going to start taking away words. You probably know, as if you've done this as kids, we start taking away a few words.
Yes.
We'll do that.
This is the most fun part. We'll take away kova and what?
The second time we'll take away kova, and the third time we're going to take away kova and shalosh.
Perfect. Okay.
First time, everything all together, all the words. לכובע שלי שלוש פינות לכובע שלי לולא היו לו שלוש פינות לא היה זה הכובע שלי. Right? Second time we take away kova. שלי שלוש פינות שלי לולא היו לו שלוש פינות לא היה זה שלי. Good. We're going to take away a second word where we said lakova, and also now we're going to take away shalosh. La sheli pinot la sheli lulei hayulo pinot lo hayazeha sheli. There we go.
חג פורים, חג פורים, חג גדול ליהודים, מסכות, רעשנים, שירים וריקודים. הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, ברעשנים. חג פורים, זה אל זה שולחים מנות, מחמדים, ממתקים, מותק מתגנבות. הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, ברעשנים. הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, הבה נרישה, רש רש רש, ברעשנים.
Thank you so much for joining us. And please join us right outside. Should be refreshments outside for those here in the chapel.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Shavua Tov and Chodesh Mevorach.